So China is at it again and has renamed 30 places in Arunachal Pradesh. All right. So why has it done that? We will see that. Plus, what has been the response of India? India has vehemently, assertively rejected these changes. India has very categorically said that the entire Arunachal Pradesh, the entire region was, is and will be the integral part of India. At the same time, such invented names cannot change the or alter the reality, because India says these are invented names. You are inventing this name and saying this place is not this, it is something else which I will give. Now just by doing that, you cannot change it. If something belongs to you, I change its name, it does not belong to me, right? So assertively rejecting it and saying such invented names will not alter the reality. And more than this is not even required, in the sense that we need not be giving, of course we do give a lot of importance to our boundary sovereignty, integrity of our boundaries, but at the same time such kind of gimmicks happening, right? So assertive statement is more than enough. If there is some action, of course we would also respond, but right now these name changes, of course India has categorically said it means nothing and alters nothing. Now why is this happening? So for this we need to go back into the history, right? So it's pretty clear now. Even if you want to understand that there have been, take things into context. Have you seen China majority of the time following the guidelines of what is given by international organizations, the United Nations or World Trade Organization, or for that matter the international courts? No, it does not. It does not in with respect to 9-dash lines. It does not with respect to this issue as well, which China is creating. It has, the history lies in the McMahon line. So what is a McMahon line? McMahon line during the British rule in the 1913, there was a Simla Convention under which the McMahon line was delineated, right? And where is this line? This line is here. If you can see, let me name this up. This is Nepal, this is Bhutan, and this is Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh. Now where is the McMahon line? The McMahon line is this. Whatever the boundary of Arunachal Pradesh is, that is nothing but the McMahon line is passing. So this itself is the McMahon line. So whatever was decided is nothing what is within the McMahon line, that is the entire Arunachal Pradesh is within it. So this becomes your McMahon line. Now that was there during this Simla Convention, is when the McMahon line came into existence, named after Henry McMahon, who was the part of this convention who delineated this McMahon line. Now because when this was done, this entire region part of the British India, and as we all know, we have got independence, we are independent country. So this region is an integral part of India. This is Arunachal Pradesh and an integral part of India. What does China say? What happened here also in the Simla Convention? Initially, in the Simla Convention, the Chinese, what they did, they initialed the agreement. So whatever the agreement was made, they put their initials on it and sort of agreed to it. They put their initials on it and they agreed to it. But later, later on, they rejected it. right? Later on they rejected it without having any locus standi. They have rejected it, and since then they are rejecting it. And if you have a closer look, you will realize that China every now and then keeps renaming the territories, the region in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, when has it done that? This present list of 30 names is the fourth list. That means previously also it has done. So there is the first list, second list, and the third list. In the fourth list, 30 places have been renamed. 30 places have been renamed. Previously, in the first list, 6 places were renamed. In the second list, 15 places were renamed. In the third list, 11 places were renamed. So this gives us total of 62 places being renamed by China. This was in 2017, this was in 2021, this was in 2023, and now in 2024. So in the last 7 years, there have been 4 lists, and a total of, there have been 4 lists and a total of 62 places have been renamed. Now, why does China do that? These years or this renaming corresponds to important visits by our officials, by our ministers, by our prime minister. For example, the present one has been triggered by the visit of our honorable prime minister in Arunachal Pradesh. Previously, when our honorable vice president visited or president visited, so whenever there is such official visit, big dignitaries are going there, China gets triggered and comes out with all these things, right? So that has been the reason. Now, what does China gain? What does China gain over here? Basically, it is gaining nothing. Just by renaming, you are not gaining the territory, but you are creating a nuisance. Now the scenario is such in the entire world, you probably cannot have a full-fledged war. So there can be sort of cold wars, there can be sort of, triggering each other. So it does just that. Plus it, because by doing that, it tries to, it may not be able to, it is not able to actually, but it tries to assert its presence. Right. Now, why are they saying that? They are saying that with the McMahon line, the boundary was pushed northwards, and we do not agree with that. Right. That is one thing. So, they also claim that the boundary was pushed northwards. Now, the thing is, India did not push this boundary. This was done with respect to the Simla Convention when the British rule was there in the Indian subcontinent. So we generally follow what has been officially done, what has been done by international organizations. We ourselves had not pushed it. That was, is and will be the integral part of the Indian country, Indian territory. Okay. So boundary have been pushed, so that's why they want to assert its presence. In fact, a very interesting thing is when we look at this map, so beyond this boundary, it's not even China, actually, historically. So what is there here? Which region is here? This X, this region, which region is there? That is nothing but Tibet. However, China has asserted control over Tibet also. We all might be knowing this. So Tibet is now not an independent country, but only an autonomous region within China. So China has done again sort of an encroachment and played hardball and made Tibet an autonomous region within China. So it's not even historically actual China. It is Tibet which is now controlled by China, and it is said to be an autonomous region, but there is no much autonomy because China is controlling it. As it is as simple as that. So this is the complete history of it, and this is the aggressive nature of China. However, as the government has clearly rejected the claims, saying that such invented names is not going to alter any reality. Now, when China changes the name, so what it does is, it tries to make claim over 90,000 square kilometer region. So it claims that this is how much it was put northward, so I want to claim this. And also they call Arunachal Pradesh as Zangnan, or at times use phrases such as so-called Arunachal Pradesh. So in their articles, in their conversations, they use these kind of terms. At the same time, have renamed is on their maps. If you see in their map, they show it as territory of China with the name of Zhangnan. All right. So this is what they are doing. Now also, if you can see, this is a periodic effort which is being made by them to claim the territory. These are the periodic effort. Every now and then they are doing it, right? So, but does anything change because of that? No, it does not change, and they do it because it corresponds to dignitaries' visits, so that triggers China, and China keeps doing that. But India stands very strong. In the recent past also, our foreign policy have been very strong, very assertive, and it is even getting better and better. We stand our ground and are very clear that such invented names are not going to alter the reality.